Lightning come to you again. You see the title of the video. Do not sleep on the Fast and the Furious 9. That shit was incredible. Like, going into it, we all seen the influence and everybody talking about, yo, this shit's way too over the top now. Like, they bringing back dead niggas. Like, how the fuck is Han still alive? These boys in space now. Like, what the hell they doing in space? They started this shit just doing street racing and using nitro and all this shit. Like how did we get here? People just comparing, the first one to this one, and they're like, all right, man, this is too much now. Like, this is not even racing no more. And you know what? That's fine, bro. We all grow, we all evolve. The movie was just to me, it was so enjoyable. Like, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. Like, it was pure laughs. Like, they embraced everything. They embraced everything. They embraced that this was not like a show about racing no more. Like, this show was a show about a lot more than that. Now, they still had racing in the show, but it was more like a James Bond type show. Like, they embraced everything. Like, I'm not gonna do no spoilers. I tell y'all when the spoilers are coming, but like, it was just such a good story. Now, I watched Meet the Blacks too this past weekend when it came out, and that's a funny movie. Like, that movie, I enjoyed that movie a lot. But that set out to be a funny movie at the start, but the plot was so silly. Like, it's such a silly, not flushed out plot. Like, it was very silly. But the people in it made it funny. Like, Cat Williams, Mike Epps, all that. The people in the movie just made it funny. But the plot was so silly that at times I just felt like the movie was like, ugh, what am I watching, But this movie right here, I gotta say, it was a lot more funny than Meet the Blacks. So I didn't, it didn't set out to be a funny movie, because the plot was solid. It was a solid plot. I was like, it's like, yo, how the fuck they introducing this nigga's brother now? Like, where the fuck was this nigga's brother the whole time? And they did a solid plot on why Dom never talked about this dude. Like, they did such a good story on why he never talked about him that I was like, alright, I can understand why he didn't talk about him. Even bringing Han back, they did a pretty good job of how to bring Han back. Like, the writers outdid themselves bringing niggas back, and I respect that shit. Like, we all went into that shit like, yo, how the fuck these niggas gonna bring that back? And I came out of it like, I respect how they did it. Like, if they're gonna bring him back, alright, I respect how they did it. It don't make sense at the end of the day, like, plot wise, and the way certain people reacted to certain things really didn't make no sense. But I was like, you know what, if they gotta bring him back, fuck it, that's a good way to bring him back. I wasn't mad at that, but I just enjoyed the movie just because it embraced everything. And now this is when I'm gonna get into the spoilers, so if you got to this point in the video, like, but if you don't plan on watching the movie anyways, then just hear me out real quick. This movie, like, embraced everything that people are saying about, like, how it wasn't about racing and how it doesn't make sense no more and how the shit's over the top. And they took that shit and they're like, you know what? The writer said, you know what? Fuck it. If people are already saying our shit's over the top, let's just go all the way with it. Let's go to fucking space. Like in the beginning of the show, at the beginning of the movie, these people were in a fight. Like, they went to this spot and they were in a firefight, and the funny black dude, you know what I'm talking about, he had a gun and he had literally enemies surrounding him. Like, first of all, every shot the enemy was making, they're fucking missing. Like, it's like these niggas weren't trained soldiers. Like these niggas trained in boot camp or whatever, and these niggas missed every fucking shot, right? And so the whole time you're sitting there watching this firefight, you're like, dude, this dude is not getting shot at all. Like, in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, how the fuck are these trained soldiers missing this dude? And then he grabs an AK, and the dude surrounded, he grabs an AK, and he just literally, without even looking, he wasn't even looking at the gun, he just sprays all around. He just shoots the gun all around, and the gun's like, it's an AK-47, but it was acting like it was a machine gun. Like, he didn't have to reload it, and he somehow killed everybody, right? And then they went into a scene where they're driving through a minefield, and like the minefield's literally blowing up on them, and the car is not exploding. And it gets to the point where dude jumps out of the shit before the mine explodes, and it was just chaos, right? And then at the end of it, the cars went on this bridge. And I know you guys seen this bridge part in the trailer, but before that bridge went down, the cars went on the bridge, and literally the bridge at the end of the side broke, and they were still able to drive up on the bridge, even though there was no more tension in the bridge. Like, they were able to drive up a bridge with no tension in it. Like the physics, like, there's like no physics involved in that shit, right? So the whole time you're thinking, alright, yo, like it was a cool scene, but it's like, alright, dude, that made no fucking sense, right? And literally right after that scene, the dude goes, they go into this thing where the dude talks about like, yo, how the fuck did we survive that? Like, look at my jacket. I literally have no bullets in this jacket. Like, how the fuck did I survive all that shit? How did they like, you basically, bro, he's basically asking the question that we're all asking in the theater. How the fuck did this dude survive not getting hit once? And then Ludacris's character, you start talking to him like yo, you're right, like yada yada yada, and then and then they basically said, yo, maybe we're invincible. And then everyone just started laughing because like that's all we were thinking, like, yo, these people are invincible. And then Ludacris is, to get it back into the plot, lives like, ah, man, you're fucking bugging or some shit like that. But that's just to show, like, you have moments like that literally throughout the show. Like when Han came back alive, Han told us, like, the black dude came up to Han and was like, yo, bro, how the fuck are you alive? Like, we saw you blow up in a car, right? Same thing, the audience was thinking the same shit, like, how are you alive? He told the story, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, and then at the end of this long ass elaborate fucking story that these niggas came up with while he's alive, the black dude still asks, okay, I hear you, but still, how the fuck did you survive blowing up in a car? And yeah, and then he said some bullshit, but it was just it was a moment of comic relief, so you really didn't even look into it that much, because it's just so elaborate. It's just so like at least they respect that, they know what the fucking fans are asking. We know that's bullshit, like, but plot wise it's whatever. And then the Dom part where his brother, they're like, how the fuck you not tell us about your brother? And they went into that. It was just little things like that sprinkled throughout the show. That shit does not make sense, but fuck it, we're just gonna go with it anyways, That's why I think the movie was so good, because they leaned into this shit. Like, it was kind of like it's kind of like what Deadpool does when he talks to the audience. Like, it's kind of like that. Like, you lean into what the audience is thinking, and it just made a movie. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed that movie. Like, definitely go watch it. Do not sleep on it. Yeah, I know what the critics are saying, but that movie, bro, like, if you want to have a good time in the theater, like, that's the movie, bro. That shit was entertaining. It was funny. And, I want them to make another one, I don't want this shit to bomb and they're like, all right, the Fast and Furious shit's done. I want them to make another one. They had a really cool cutscene. Like I gotta say, that funniest part of this whole show was that cutscene. Like, that cutscene was, like, so hilarious. Like, at the end of the movie, and that's, like, a build-up for, like, Shaw and shit. For the next Shaw, but, like, I hope this movie does good, just so you can see pumping them out, cause I you need shit like that. Yeah, you need like comic relief shit like that. If Fast and Furious turn into a show that's like James Bond, I'm cool with it. Like, like, how many times we gonna be entertained by a nigga racing down a track, but this is not like they didn't have racing in it. Like, they still had, like, cool racing shit in it. Like, especially with the backstories of Dom and his brother and shit. Like, that was a really dope story, and that's like a thick plot. Like, yo, I feel like the only reason Meet the Blacks ain't gonna do good is because, yo, it's funny as shit, but the plot ain't there, man. But anyways, man, I just wanted to make this video real quick. Tell y'all, don't sleep on the Fast and the Furious 9. Go watch that shit. Lightning out.